There is one of those stories today that, when you hear about how difficult this has become for people or an organization like Moisson Montreal, who does, the hard work of providing basically food to all the various agencies around the city that hand it out to people who need it, and then discover that of all things, they're running out of food. And the reason is we have a new sort of wave, if you will, in the city of retail businesses that have figured out, you know what? We can take soon-to-be expired food, which the major chains, of course, would typically have given, I guess, to Moisson Montreal. And now we have retail operations that are actually selling this food. So in a way, what's happening is it's good for some people who could not afford to go to the major retailers. And now they're pushing off this food to other retailers who specialize in soon-to-be expired food. So people can afford that, go there and buy that. But then that means that the agencies like Moisson Montreal are finding out that that food that used to come to them is no longer available to them. And now people at the bottom of that rung who rely on Moisson Montreal and all the agencies they provide food for are finding out either they're going to have to pay more or there simply isn't that food there. Matias Duque is Director of Philanthropy at Moisson Montreal. Matias, good to have you back. This is a bizarre problem, isn't it? Could you have possibly foreseen this?
Actually, we did sort of see it coming because we've been tracking this for at least 5 years, maybe a little more. And you're right, we are seeing right now a slight drop in the amount of food that's available that we can recuperate and distribute. But it's not only attributable to these discount stores that are coming in.
Okay.
First and foremost, I would say producers and grocers have been upgrading their production and their management systems for quite a while now. And what that means is that there's less excess food being produced, and so therefore there's less excess surplus that we have access to. And then there's another thing is that the consumers have also gradually been changing their habits, you and me and everyone listening, is that we're far more open to purchasing imperfect foods and foods that are soon to be expired, which wasn't the case before. So again, in the grocery stores, you have less surplus available. And then finally, yes, you have the fact that there's more players that are being involved in food recuperation. I mean, back in the day, Moisson Montreal was practically the only organization recuperating food. And today, as you mentioned, we have the discount stores, we have the food apps that consumers are using, and we also have more nonprofits that are actively seeking out surplus. So you put all that together, and yeah, it's a bit harder right now to gain access to food.
So given what you just said about, seeing this coming now for at least 5 years or so, what have you done? Have you had to sort of change the way you do things, and how has that sort of worked itself out?
Yeah, we've been working hard on a few fronts. The first thing is business development. If you look 3 years ago, we had 344 partners that we were working with and receiving food from. 3 years later today, we're up to 444. So we're out on the ground multiplying the amount of contacts that we can make and working with different producers and grocers. And then there's also the innovation part where we have a state-of-the-art bagging machine. And so that allows us to receive bulk surplus foods. And I mean big crates. So we're talking 500 pounds of frozen broccoli, for example. So we receive those. And then we're also investing in urban agriculture. So that way we can grow our own vegetables. That gives us much better control over what we receive. So those are the sorts of things that we're working on to try and get more food.
So with respect to the various food agencies that you provide, and again, I said I think that number is over 300 if I'm correct. And I saw someone suggest that, and this is one particular place, people coming in now just by virtue of what's happening because there's fewer items. They had to take the price from, $3 a basket to $4 or $5 a basket, which may not sound like a lot, but for people who can barely afford it, that's serious. And do you foresee that being able to change anytime soon?
Unsure. I've heard that story as well. Obviously, those are organizations that we're working with. Everybody is feeling the brunt of the cost of living going up. So even community organizations and Moisson Montreal itself, we see our cost of doing business, of operating going up. And part of that cost has to be passed down to the ultimate, consumer that or the client you're working with. So yeah.
I
unfortunate.
I wonder too, with respect, and I was not aware of the fact. I mean, I know about these chains that are now popping up in stores. You mentioned apps as well, right? For people who don't know, there are apps out there that will connect you to where you can go buy food too, or if you want to buy this food, the nearly expired, right?
Yeah, And, our position on that, as well as our position on the discount stores, we're not against it.
Sure.
In the end, our mission is to recuperate food, distribute it to people in need, and every other organization that tries to deliver food at better cost to people who are finding it hard to make ends meet, we find that it's a good, in the big picture and regards with our mission, it's still a positive thing.
So it's nice to hear you're positive. I mean, you watch the story and it doesn't look very positive, but with respect to how this sort of progresses from here on in, Matias, what are you expecting will happen?
I think that eventually what happens is, because we get 75% of the food we receive is from producers. About 25% of the food we receive is from grocery stores. So I think what's going to happen is these companies which are great partners of ours and have always been, they will realize that there's a misgiving, or there's less food available for the food banks, and I think they're probably going to be able to put some of that aside for us. Okay. It's a question of time, and for us to go, meet all the different actors that are in this ecosystem, and make sure that they understand the work that we're doing. And I think that they'll be open, they'll be generous, and they're going to give us the food that we're missing.
Which would be nice to see. I mean, again, I did want to mention, too, I know we spoke last year, during the T-shirt campaign that we ran, and we kept hearing that, the need is greater than ever. There are more people, and I don't think clearly that has changed. That is still the case. There are more people out there in food banks now than we've ever seen before.
Definitely. And I would tell you right now, the big thing, we have our summer program right now, which is Hungry for Vacation, which you might have heard of. When school's out, a lot of the kids that suffer from food insecurity no longer have the meals at school, and that becomes a real problem during the summer. Mm-hmm. So Moisson Montreal has a program where we deliver snacks to the summer camps and the day camps, and we need money to be able to deliver as many snacks as possible, because some of those we do have to purchase. So if people can help us out, that would be really appreciated. They just go on our website, and it's a very simple process to be able to make a gift.
See, I wasn't aware you did that. So this is actually to help those kids who are out of school, who won't have access to food in school, to, if they're out at a day camp, whatever, you'll be how many of those do you provide for?
We have, initially 3 years ago was about 4,000 kids. This year we're going to be reaching over 10,000 kids. Wow. And distributing over 700,000 snacks during the summer months.
Good for you. So for people, to your point, people listening, they go to just Moisson Montreal's website, and you can make a donation there?
Yep.
Okay. By the way, if you have, and I'm not sure this is a fair question, if you have, food and you want to get rid of your food because you're not going to eat it, but it's still perfectly good, do you take food from people that way?
We do take food. We take non-perishable food here at Moisson Montreal at our warehouse. I would say, though, if you have a small quantity of food that you can donate, find a community organization close to your home. They're going to take it as well.
Okay.
But
listen,
if not, come to Moisson Montreal.
Absolutely. And the site, by the way, is moissonmontreal.org, right?
Yes,
okay.
That's correct.
Make your donation there. Hey, listen, Matias, thank you so much. Keep up the great work. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Take good care. You bet.
Pride is like love. You feel it in your heart. iHeartRadio, Canada's #1 streaming app for radio and podcasts, including iHeart Pride Canada, your favorite hits, and must-have party bangers, plus personalized and curated playlists like Back in the Day Pride.
Come together, celebrate love.
Take Pride with you, anytime, anywhere. Just ask your smart speaker to play iHeart Pride Canada. Stream us on your phone or listen now at iHeartRadio.ca.